It's okay.
Naye empapula zaffe monitor n'okusinga editor waadyo kalinaki nawa editor wa New Vision nsanyuse ennyo okuwulira nti bamu kumwe muvi eyo muba mu New Vision kinsanyuse nnyo bagaana waliwo owabalagira nti teboogera ku Kanyihamba kubanga byayogera byonoona ebyobufuzi so bakwatirira etteeka eryo oyinza kubanga omanyi enamba ya room oba eyakalina kikwe bayite olunaku olulala lwaki temuteeka mu mpapula zammwe Professor Kanyihamba n'olwekyo nsanyuse nnyo okukulaba oyagala
the good news I have Professor nti nowadays our style is different. Yes, I may be working with those papers, but we brought what we call social media. There is no way to stop the information.
Ekyo kirungi. Abantu baagala kuwulira abalamuzi babwe bawaamu babikolanga batya.
Yes.
Bali batya. Bawa amagezi ki.
Yes.
Kiraba nti bw'obanga olina envu kigamba nti obwongo bwo bufudde.
Yeah.
Bubeera nga bwali bulijjo. Oyinza kutambula mpolampola sikyakuba mupiira wa tenesi nakubanga tenesi naye ebirala byonna mbikola ndina amaanyi ndina n'obwongo okubyogerako kinsanyuse nnyo tulwaleeyo oba mu New Vision Group naye ojje kumbuzako mbuze kw'abantu.
Let's go straight to Uganda's politics. How are the things going according to you comparing to those days?
Things are going very badly ever for Uganda. Omanyi Amin bwe yaja bamu ku bafi abamanyi Oluganda bamuyita Salongo. Salongo oyo omuzadde yazaala abaana babiri nimuteekamu ekitiibwa. Abalala bamuyita Field Marshal.
Katononyo Professor. Do you mind if we use Runyankore you mix? Amwe Munyankore, we can understand each other. Runyankore, then you can mix it with English, so that it can...
And Uganda.
Yes.
Nze ndi musajja wa Kabaka bwondaba wano. Ye yampa wano kutuulawo. Olusozi lwonna lwa Kabaka. Ndi musajja wa Kabaka.
So Professor, katutandikira hino ntandikire. Ko kureba ebyofuzi by'ihanga eri bwijwe emyaka emu ab'emurumu niki kyokubasa kugambira enseegi abakureba egishaha Geto TV?
Ekinkugambira enseegi ekikulu abaana n'abakulu nti tuleke omwami Museveni amale entegeka ye mu mwaka 2026 de hatsubizo ateeka noho olamu sindikira akaza mu bijere bye eri kulugerizo mwampula ntogoni Kanyihamba yatugira ngo kugeshyikiro nokwikaho turuhindura twikizangane nawe tumwami Museveni atukolere emirimo mingi atuhere obutungi kyonka hati aruhire tumuyambe nawe niko yatugambire arugiye kugira nti abantu banje kubambuza ngo mpumure nimpumura ebyo n'ebigambo bya Museveni byanje n'ebya Museveni nabwo ekyo nina kutumutemu ekitiinisa namuko tuteremu ekitiinisa tuli abantu be para ahumure emyaka 26 tumwikirize kandi hata tuhera orukusa habwo gatugambye ati nyowe kumunanshabe mpumule niza kuhumura ebyo nebigambo bye si byanje
kunga shabantu kabamushabe
nantakahizi takatushabaga ngo tumugambe ahumure niharugiye kukigamba Chonkwita abantu bona ba Uganda tukaza mu mahulire tukaza social media tukaje mu mukuru wetu Museveni atukolere emirimo chonkati ntwenda ngo ahumure tukigamba kandi hati obuto kugamba abami bamwe nka otafire minister w'ebyo polisi n'omunda na alupo misimarupo turanimweta muramu wanje abo kwe nimanyizo wali mwakaine mugenzi wajyo mukiga namabije no kugujja kumutaya na shanga tarimo boni bagira ngo Museveni agume munywani wanje omwe kandi wabere mento wa Museveni bakabandira mweta byanyima Yosafas mshishi isho wa byanyima akambuga na nkiri muto mu myaka 40 yangira tukanyihamba ubwo ni ya first byanyima uyine myaka enga kabandi minister wa justice na tonje nkenyine 42 ati no kizaho mutabani wanje Museveni emyaka 2 yonka which means I am always 2 years older
than him
than Museveni, which tells you today I am 23, Museveni is 21, rather 83, Museveni is 81. Is it to be Hindu?
No, Shemaisa.
Yes.
But he tells us he's in 70s.
No, he's 81. According to Byanyima.
Because at least he knows you.
He was like his best child. He knew him. Second, ko kusoma ebitabo bye kimwe ne bakyeta Master Seed nakugambe ngo utakumenya yazali
nkawe
no Museveni wenga kyonka nimpulengo ekitabo ekyo bakihindahinduremu ebintu Museveni ahinduremi tikiri nko kukyabere kibi ariho bashingira babihinduremu ebintu.
So who is lying? Who? He's telling us he's 70 something, and
whoever is saying Museveni is not 71.
And for you, the brother, you're saying he's 71. So is a liar, or we are the liars? Who is lying?
No manya antoje kungambira. Museveni na encouraging abantu kuba corruption. Na yekolera report.
He's encouraging to fight or to?
No, corruption ni kulienguzi. Yaba ari umunyankori. Na munajihajira. Abandi bari kungambira. Kumbulije nabuza abantu bakuru bakumanya. Baje Museveni narwanisa enguzi. Rero ivyo cyagambire isandije gwi. Ati hati umurimo gwanje ninza kurwanisa enguzi.
Yes.
Sabantu nibabe habeyo. Museveni takambe ihaga. Nkashigamba kale nti is 81.
Yeah.
Takanjumaga. Takampakanisaga. Ekyo ni kyamaze. Yes. Yes.
But according to the...
Excuse me.
Okay.
If I tell you, I saw money, and you agree, do you say, but according to, you go by what they say. You came here because you know Kanyama tell
I wanted the facts, yes.
So this not divert by you disagreeing with me. But if you know people who know him better, go to them and ask him. Chonka wakatujira. Ngu akaziye bw'iki. Emyaka encha. Omubuuze. Tukakanyama kanatura nagira ngu you are 81 this year. Habwa choka otakamakani. Buuza Museveni.
So he knows the truth.
Aza kumwana nyo ninja ngashomire. Ukugambira ngo we akagamba mu first edition of Master the Seed. Mutinkumanya nazali. Mubasoso munatukubiyo. Sekumeta kumanya yazali. Izobe yazalirwemu. Akazarirwa mu Second World War. The 139 to 39, 45. Nanyindwe nazalirwa.
Wow.
Unabeni weitu. Kabali. Hatene wajeta Rwanda. Akabana ali omwana nkanye. Nalalo mchalo shibakweta Narushanje. Narushanje nangwa akija kulondayo umukozi wayo. Kandi iba ni my cousin.
Yeah.
My grandma cousin. Nibashwirwe permanent secretary owamahe. Rosita.
Yeah.
Rosita. Iba ni mwiho wanje. Ishewe akabarika bigo nanka ni Mukombe. Famous as a chief. Wa Kigezi.
Yeah.
Kuruga wanje ne Museveni yakubanze kurabyo mwana muto. Nyumayo 5. Narushanje. Gashangayo umwana we yakuze nawe nenga ni muto awe nibamweta Rosita. Nibwo permanent secretary wa amahe. Shonga details zo kuza kumpakanisi oyine wenje.
Think how can support.
Udya kan.
Okay, tabo omurukiko rwakoze constitution iti yari kumurwenda.
Kabani mbera akachiko ka legal and drafting committee. Cyari kigambo ecyo constitution yiti ecintahingwiza. Nyonyoge Kanyihamba.
So, looking at that constitution of 1995 that we are direct involved and what is happening in Uganda, what do you really say about our constitution?
Manyowe utaka kwira mino ubu ambuzi shibuzo icho ba BBC kwa news za world. Museveni akaba atakayijiro banyeta munituhurira ngo uri minister wa justice wa Uganda nte nyowe nkakurira Bungereza umushara wanje no Mungereza n'abana babijukuru banje n'abijukuru b'abajungu ngwe ukaba no musima mnonga kandi nakusima nico kitume yakulonzire ukuba minister wa justice na attorney general.
Yes.
Nguchunke bireri government yine shisha. Museveni werizoba kuyakubugana Museveni uwa savinjire nka attorney general na minister of justice bakareve na bata tindemereho n'abagambira they would shoot each other on sight immediately. They would kill each other. Abashije bashika.
Say it in Uganda, Professor. Museveni webisere ebyo. Go wawereza bago wasavinga naye.
Nga meets the President Museveni.
But yesanga ne President Museveni.
They will kill each other immediately. Shoot.
Really?
Yes.
I thought
because it's Museveni whom we served and was the leader of the national resistance movement, was a very principled, very kind, very human, and absolutely correct leader Uganda should have. The one of today in governance and other areas has far exceeded Amin as a brutal president of Uganda. Many Ugandans have been killed and tortured, including MPs, Wanyana, and the other girl of Mukono, what is her name?
Nambozi.
Nambozi. Nambozi is a cripple under Museveni's leadership. And you ask me, there is any doubt that if Museveni is served, brilliant man, a lover of Uganda, met the brutal forces the current leader is allowing it to unleash in this country, they would shoot each other on sight immediately. One would be dead. We captured many Amin's people. Had he stayed here longer, Ugandans would have butchered him, like Gaddafi and Hussein were butchered by their own people. That is the history of Africa. If you don't know it, or you shy from repeating it, do so now, please.
Now, does this explain why you no longer work for him, or?
I retired as a judge of Supreme Court. As a Ugandan, I will never retire until I'm dead. So as a Ugandan, I oppose to the best of my ability and my knowledge everything wrong President Museveni's government is doing. That's why I am campaigning with everybody, including the young, that in 2021, be thinking of a replacement of Museveni.
2026.
And we say, please, you have served us long enough and well enough, retire now from the leadership of Uganda. I'm saying it now.
What went wrong? Because you were here when he was coming, and you are still here.
Are you a Christian?
I am.
Do you know who recruited Judas Iscariot?
I don't know who recruited him.
You don't know you are Christian? He was recruited by Jesus.
Yes.
We worship Jesus as our God. What happened to Iscariot?
He betrayed him.
Huh?
He betrayed Jesus.
He betrayed him, thank you. When I recruited Museveni, I was the one who nominated him.
Really?
Yes, when Rude died, I went with Kategaya and Ambassador Tumusange and Ambassador Matogo to London in a retreat which was debating who would succeed him. I am the one who moved that legally the vice president takes over when the president is no more. I move that Museveni becomes our president of Uganda or leader of the NRM. When you defeat Museveni, he will automatically become the president. They accepted me, all of them in London. But you younger people, you don't know this. You think KANYEIHAMBA is just a retired man. Let me tell you the mutual respect we have for each other. Recently, bad people came here as you are. on Sunday, lifted me in a wheelchair, put me in my car, and ordered the driver to take me to Luzira. That KANYEIHAMBA.
They did what?
They did. You don't read my books.
With that profile?
Without any authority. But many people, the way you and the good Ugandans listen to me, the others consider me an enemy
of this nation
for hurting robbers, for hurting corrupt people. They don't like me. So one among those, a group of them, one Sunday I was watching television, and they said there are some people to come and see me. They just came, lifted me. Oh, I couldn't escape. Then they took me eventually to Luzira prison, but medical hospital.
Yes.
Then they hired a doctor to say I was incontinent. I was no longer able to look after my affairs. They should give me injections so I become like a vegetable. Then I call my family to look after me because I cannot look after myself.
Do you remember the year?
This is the truth. Pardon?
Do you remember which year was that?
I remember the doctor who was attempting to give me injection. So I become as you have come. Who are you? As I am from New Vision. Then I will look at him, played. Mwana wanje. Mankashi. Editor Achabaga Kabye, what was his name? Kabushenga. Kabushenga shani wachaliyo. Utinga. Kubamba kafwa.
Kumbe he was forging around.
Yeah, you see around, but they were giving me medicine to speak like that.
Oh.
They wanted me to become a vegetable.
Oh, yeah.
Then when I meet you, I ask you about Kabushenga. You say, oh, kwa kafuka kali, abamjirimu, shijo, ukama abjirimu, nibamweta mutevide, akabali governor.
So they wanted to rub your mind.
Absolutely, you got it.
They wanted to wash your mind.
Nayak. Kunabamulaga Gamasim. Nkatenduru as if I have been killed really. Uweze yokunjuna. Nomunyabuzali wanje namweta professor. Professor. You were the owner of this Uganda oil. Made from bananas and so forth. David, I want you to come. Umshenje nimugibie ntakuma. Chonka every minute nazoko. Tanta ngambi. Chitama. Hantereje. Chitama kuna. I will not say another sentence until you sit here. Until you stay here. Or bring one from here. You are the one who helps me. Don't go inside again. Please. Now, this relative of mine who makes wine, the professor who? Professor Bazilak. You see how you hear it? We have lost 2 minutes because you are not here.
So Bazilak is the one who saved you.
You can ask him. Bakamuruza. Ngubantwala butabya.
So they thought the doctor had already injected you in that state?
No, they hadn't told him that, and they hadn't been injected. But when he had, I was in trouble. When people hear I am in trouble, Wakana Rugunda, Babazi, those are my old friends.
Yes.
My relatives, Bazirake, they all come. Nabakuruza. Nibijana. Wakana Rugunda, even when he was Prime Minister, he used to come here when he had a problem, medical, especially. That's our friends you want in this world.
Yeah.
Not the one who paid for government, whatever. Wakana Rugunda, when his friend and our friend, Mbabazi, Amama Mbabazi, stood against the president and lost, they remained friends. Hakan didn't abandon his great friend Mbabazi simply because he had challenged his president. But let me tell you, the friendship our generation understand, which you younger people don't. Once somebody is an enemy of your president, they are enemies. Nobody in Uganda is an enemy of one another. There are people who want to be president, legitimately. Mbabazi, a close friend of Museveni, wanted to stand against him as president. He's not his enemy. Oh, you people.
But they took him as an enemy.
He didn't. Do you know what he is now? After he lost to Museveni, Museveni has now appointed him. He's the envoy. And what Mbabazi has agreed. You see, you say you are reporters or you are younger people. You know nothing about what has been in your country.
That's why you always come to you, sir.
I mean, let David remember, because he's my driver permanent today. How many times has we come to see me? Since the crisis of NSF, since the crisis of the ministers stealing iron sheets in for Karamoja, since the whole battle about homosexuality, on which all have an opinion, how many times have you come to see me?
We are sorry, Professor, but we are here now. We were talking about...
No, you tell the people that I was telling lies. I haven't come once to see him every time. Tell them.
I was telling lies, sir.
Thank you.
So now, looking at the two people, you talked about the way he betrayed you. When you sit down, do you feel like you are betrayed by the person you loved? Do you regret bringing him to Uganda?
Until last week, I used to think Museveni betrayed me. Yes, I did. Even in that interview in London, I thought wrongly that he betrayed me and they would shoot each other. Now, knowing what I know, they wouldn't. But they have committed many offenses. But some of those I have blamed them for, they didn't commit them. Do you know why?
No.
I'm going to tell you. I've been wanting a solution from the chairman of the Judicial Service Commission and from the Inspector General of Government. What's her name?
Betty
Kamya. And every time I get, she's not there. For example, as I speak now, if I was to go for the information, the officials of the Minister of State for Land, by the name of Mayanja, if I was to believe the evidence they are giving me, I wouldn't mind. Rather, I would be expecting to go and bury him at any time. His secretaries, they tell me he's dangerously ill in the hospital. He's suffering. David, what did we take him yesterday? A what? We took him a Get Better Way card.
You mean he's down, Mayanja?
According to his spokesperson. But every time you see it elsewhere, he's addressing a meeting. They are all telling lies. They've been telling Museveni that my letters been telling me that the letters I have sent him have reached him.
Now, Professor, sometimes...
Including one, if you are going to interview me, let me finish what I'm answering. Including DHL. When I got followed up, letters were not reaching him. People were telling him we delivered them, including ministers. I sent one letter by DHL. You can ask them. Because I said, this one, they said we shall deliver it. State House has never acknowledged that letter. Or answered it.
Meaning it never...
It has never reached. I went to DHL the other day. What? You told me that letter. You called me that it has arrived. DHL was also on me. You mean it didn't? They wouldn't allow me to hand it over to the president personally, but his own people. I hand them in State House, and they said we shall give him. He's in a meeting now. Museveni has never seen it.
People think you speak to him regularly.
So when I talk, they think I speak to him. Let me surprise you and surprise the listeners and the readers of New Vision. Since I stopped being a judge, no, in fact, since the days I was a judge, I have never seen Museveni in person.
Really?
Never. And that is about more than 20 years. I try every week I call, I send a message. I have never seen him. Call him Museveni. For over nearly 30 years, they have hidden me from him.
Does this mean he doesn't know that you exist? Or?
Well, I'll tell you something. By way of analogy. One of his relatives, very close, I approached her. I said, I've been wanting to see the president for over 10 years. But every time, he's never available for me. He said, I'll make you the appointment when I saw him tonight at lunch. That is how close that relative was. I waited to be called, No call ever came. Up to now.
What does this mean?
So I asked that very relative, you told me you'd secure an appointment to see the president. Up to now, I have not seen him. Why? He said, Professor, my friend, that man is very difficult.
So what?
That man, Museveni, is very difficult. That is his relative. And that's why they don't want me to appear on New Vision, on TV, because I will be very honest. So I say, what do you mean? You are a relative. He said, there are two people the president will not see alone. That is James Kahoza. Now I think he's in the judiciary or whatever. And the KANYEIHAMBA. I said, why not? He said, when you are called face to face to Museveni, you Kahoza and you KANYEIHAMBA, you just don't look down very humbly and say, Yes, Your Excellency. I hear Your Excellency. You look him in the eye as if you are equal and say, Mr. President, until we wrong in doing this, until you wrong in ordering this to be done. And Museveni is very sensitive. You become his, like angels, blaming him what he has done. And you unnerve him. So that's why he doesn't want to see Kahoza or KANYEIHAMBA face to face. You must be accompanied by another person. But even then, nobody can guarantee you will not look at him the same way and he feels guilty. That is why I have never seen him saving.
Now, Professor, that you have a chance, you are into Ghetto TV's cameras, and you are sure we'll not dump the story like Vision or Moment, as you've said. What is that issue that is haunting you to meet President Museveni?
Haunting what?
What is that issue? Ni nshonga chejo kugira ngo at least namurebaho
kunimurebaho nkamugambire tintuya ninkurwana niwe ha corruption. I am doing your work. Ekya kabiri tibakugambira mazima. You are gullible. Minisa yakugambira ati KANYEIHAMBA nabi. Hali izina ndiwadeo. Izina ndiyawaje ndiwa.
Katusinguze general.
Katusinguze na Akabye. Noyikiriza. Tokareta tukabagambira. Kuba babiha Museveni nakiri Museveni wundi kumanya. Anyeta. Ati KANYEIHAMBA ibintu kula nibiha. Ati ngino ko iki neki. Hati takinyitaka. Chonga kuba mugambira KANYEIHAMBA no mwinazi. Na kakanisa uchichiriza utambulisha. Ngenu kayenze nga mini yankem. You challenge him. Nguleba KANYEIHAMBA. Oganire nabo. Namazima ryo mumpete takutambura. Chonka abantu beba David n'umunyankoli. Nibaza kumwita mu City House. Obagambe babahe kasoda hero. Rero gambe nawe person to person. Or with anybody else you want to be there. KANYEIHAMBA will come immediately. He's been dying to see you. He misses you as his friend. Na camera. I am with my family under him. He's holding my children as if they are his own.
So
that's the kind of intimacy we had. Mangwesha akari nkamugambira. Ntebebya homosexuality ngwe it is they should kill those they find babyamira na musheje n'umwojo. I was the first one to face attempted homosexuality when I was in Germany. But a nice man who was a bit twisted because he said he finds sex with another man preferable and more enjoyable than that of a woman to man. Many women have killed themselves because of their bad husbands. So it is not only women, men who commit adultery. It is also women. There is called lesbianism. In the law, that lesbian is not putting there. Who has done more damage in Uganda than any other? Those thieving ministers and torturing security officers. They have done more harm, 100%, than an occasional incident of men sleeping with men or women sleeping with women. But I wanted to ask you, my brother, have you ever seen one? Have you ever witnessed, as a witness, a man fucking another man?
No.
Do you know how many women in Uganda have ever seen them? They do it in private.
In parliament?
At night, private.
In private way, yes.
When nobody's looking. At night when they have gone to bed. They've been drinking together. And they shut all the curtains. And they do the homosexual act. So if you make it a criminal offense, where will you get the evidence from? Tell me, where? For in order to convict somebody under the homosexual act, which they wanted Museveni to assent to, you must sleep under the bed at night before they leave you, they see you. So when the other men come in at night to fuck each other, you are already in the house. That's the only way you catch anybody.
Yeah, you have the evidence.
Yes. You see, our emotions should guide us, not blind us to reality. So, under the current way we live, if you are forcing people, you all of you live in the dormitory and they get naked, you can catch somebody.
Yeah.
That is why it is easy for people to see people having homosexual act in prisons, in boarding schools, and in convents, because they are always crowded together, and they can do it there without anybody looking. I have advised Museveni, I hope my letter reads him, you must reject that bill, homosexual bill, because it is not enforceable. And there are only very, very few people in Uganda who ever commit homos or lesbianism. It is not necessary or practical to have a law about that subject. And I speak as a victim of an attempt to homicide me by a German gentleman whom I have never mentioned, because in my opinion, he was suffering from something I don't know. And I don't report sick people.
Yeah.
I oppose homosexuality, not for any other reason, because I think it is an unnatural act to want to sleep with another man, or a woman to want to sleep with another girl, is sickness and is unnatural. So I wouldn't waste the time. These MPs want to reach and I should impose capital punishment. Some of those, I think, are the ones who are now homosexual.
Now, Professor, let's look at Uganda's elections.
What?
Uganda's elections.
Yes.
You've watched them. You've seen them. And that man you trusted.
And I participated.
You participated.
In one as a judge.
That man you loved so much, he betrayed you. But every election, he's declared as a winner. What do you have to say, looking at it?
I want to ask you, who declares somebody winner?
Chairman Electoral Commission.
The chairman of the Electoral Commission, like Chigundu.
Chigundu now Byabakama. By then it was engineer.
They act on the findings of the court. And that court is the Supreme Court. I participate in such a finding because I was then a judge of the Supreme Court. And we were 7. I wrote in my books that Museveni did not win in 2001. because the court did not have a quorum. We were there 6. The Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission, then led by Justice Ogola, asked the President to appoint a 7th judge. Because 6 under the 1995 Constitution does not make a quorum. The quorum for hearing rather for determining. I'm using the word determining instead of hearing, because I'm coming after to that hearing. For determining a petition is 7. The quorum in 2001 was only 5. So they didn't have a quorum. I wasn't on that appeal, but I was on the 2006 presidential petition. And one of the things we should clear earlier, there are some uneducated lawyers, including judges, who think the president is above the law so long as he's sitting as head of government. That is nonsense. The president has never been above the law. Really? Not according to Uganda Constitution.
People think he's above.
I want to ask you, thinking and knowing, which is more important?
Knowing.
Thank you. So I am telling you as somebody who knows.
Yes.
The President Museveni, and he himself has never said so, is not above the law or above God, as the Constitutional Court, composed of Monica, Elizabeth Musoke, Egonda Ntende, and the Tuba Banyakigezi, is not above God or the law. I have contacted personally, in writing, the religious leaders of Uganda, Archbishop Kazinda, Archbishop Paul Semogere, Gulanda Mufiti of Old Kampala.
Mabaje?
Yes. Personally have gone there and left them a letter saying, denounce the judgment of the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court, or rather Constitutional Court, as blasphemous and unlawful, because it elevates our President Museveni above the law and above God.
What have been their response?
They have kept silent.
You've contacted
Bishop. Do you remember St. Paul? When they asked, you are one of those people of Jesus. He said, me? No. I don't know even that man.
3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
That is Kazimba, Semwegolere, and Paul Semwegolere, the Archbishop of Kampala.
Yes, by then, the late, I think.
Huh?
The current one, the Semwegolere.
The current one.
Really?
The current one was appointed because the other one
had died.
They died. So there is a current one, which is the Paul Semwegolere.
You've approached them, you've given them the document.
I saw them. I gave them copies of my submission. I gave the copies that the respondents, the Attorney General, the lawyers of NLM, did not even reply to our written submission. And therefore, more importantly, denounced the judgment. They didn't.
What does that mean? Does it mean that
but
even
you
God
are the
fears
journalist,
human
go and
being?
ask them, take me with you to the Rubaga and to Namirembe with me, and you ask them when I'm there. That's what journalism is all about. So after this broadcast, I'm inviting him to accompany me.
Yes.
You.
I'll be ready, Professor.
We are ready now. When should we go there?
I'm ready. Even if you tell me to come back tomorrow.
Tomorrow is what?
Tomorrow is a Thursday.
Thursday. Let's go there on Friday. And we should send them information that a reporter from the New Vision and the KANYEIHAMBA are coming to see you on your silence.
They will not give you they will not give you appointment, I think. If they have refused to answer you when you don't have a camera, what about when you come with a camera?
Okay, so what do you want us to do?
Good enough, the public has known that they have kept silence about that issue.
No. We shall go there, but we shall not inform them.
Oh.
So still come on Friday, and we shall turn up. They have a palisades of Chibudi, it is at the old Kampala. Of the same way, the bishop is at Kampala, Bubaga, over Namirembe, Kazinda is in Namirembe. That's Namirembe. The one of Kampala is Bubaga. Let's go there. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is what?
Tomorrow is Thursday, you've said Friday. You've said Friday. Tomorrow is a Thursday.
But I am suggesting even quicker. In case, do you know anybody will take me?
I don't know.
He's taking me tomorrow. The earlier we do it, the better. Tomorrow, we go there. Don't tell anybody. So we go to the 3 places, and we shall ask them.
So, Professor, would you encourage Ugandans to continue voting, looking at the experience of the past elections? Did you follow the 2021 elections?
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
If you don't vote, the wrong people get power.
Hey.
Remember that saying. If you do not vote, the wrong people govern you. Yeah. So I will never be a party or suggest don't vote. No, always vote. Always challenge. That's why I was not happy.
People are losing hope.
When Chiza BSG did not challenge the results of 2006, he would have won. Always do the positive, never the negative. This the man I voted for last election.
Your son, Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu.
Yes, Sentamu. He said he's going to boycott East Africa elections. He never consulted me. I would have told him, please, younger son, don't boycott those elections. It would be a terrible mistake. Send your representative in accordance with the East Africa Treaty and our Constitution, and they vote 1 or 2 representatives there. The more the better. You are the 2nd largest party in Uganda. He never asked me, tell me by boycotting, what has he achieved today? Nothing. That's why I do people and the younger people everybody never boycott elections. Because if you do, the wrong people get power and they govern you for that term.
Wow. So what is that special advice that you give to Ugandans who are looking tired with elections? Every time they vote, they declare a person that they had not voted.
I give the advice of the last 80-year-old president of Senegal. He contested 10 times. eventually he won.
Wow.
At the age near 90. Served one term.
Huh? He contested up to 80. That's when he won.
Yes. You see, most of those who oppose President Museveni acclaim he's a dictator, he's governed this country wrongly, he did not implement the policies he has been voted for. Isn't it? So if you are standing for truth, and those principles Museveni has violated, whether you are 90, 60, 70, 75, 80, do they change?
I don't know.
Do those principles change?
They don't.
Eh?
I think they don't.
Thank you, no. You are not wrong. They definitely don't change. And therefore, KANYEIHAMBA, until he dies at the age of 106, which I think maybe the date I die, I will continue fighting against corruption. I will continue supporting those rulers who perpetuate thefts. I will never give up. So if you are a voter, you are now a young man, then you are 50 tomorrow, 60 tomorrow, those principles will remain. They never change. So conversely, you continue fighting for them, even if you are 90. Churchill of UK was about 91 when he died. He was still fighting for those things he believed in. Once I have told you, if you don't vote,
bad leaders will come.
Bad leaders are elected and ruin the country. Then other principles follow. You don't ask me another question.
About elections, eh?
No, you can ask me about election.
Yeah, I was asking. Should we blame the Electoral Commission that announces wrong people, or we blame the people who doesn't react about the bad election?
Let me tell you something. In the 2006 election, I was a member of the panel. We unanimously but individually said the Constitution had been breached. We unanimously held that all the laws relating to election had been violated. We were with the Chief Justice, Odochi. We unanimously, including him, held that the police and the army interfered in that election. We held unanimously that the people gave and received bribes. Some 7 did not convince us that he had won. Number one. Unanimously. Again, unanimously. We held the Chizabesi did not win in 2006. He only won in 2016. So in 2001...
Come again, Professor. He didn't win in 2006, he won in 2001. According at first,
he didn't win anything else other than the 2016 election, presidential election. But where I was sitting, we all said unanimously, Chizabesi had not convinced us that he won. But he convinced us 100% that his election, the election were fault. That's why we wanted it to be repeated, so that the laws and the Constitution are followed and obeyed. I don't know why, when Chizabesi won, I was not on the panel, but he did not enthusiastically petition against his laws in 2016 because he won. And I'm not saying these words myself, they were said here. All the international observers came to see me here. When I wrote, after the 2026 election, Uganda will never be the same. That time hoping Besigye would petition and he would win. Those people came here.
Yeah.
Obasanjo, the former president of Nigeria. Banda, the former president of Malawi, often mistaken with Kamuzu, who was by then dead and was president of Malawi. Justice Akufo, the president of the African Court of Human Rights, of which if my government had not withdrawn me, I would have been the president unanimously by all the other members. And Chaka Sadi of Uganda, who was still the voice of America.
Yeah.
The voice of America. They came here. They all confirmed that she's the other one. And they've said it publicly. You ask them if you can reach your father, or Sanja Karamuzo. They confirm Kanyambi is bad. But when this was the opportunity for him to win, he refused the petition. He doesn't trust judges appointed by Museveni. But the Sekoko, Benjamin Odochi, Karokora, Justice Mlenga, Justice, who was the other one? Justice Karokora. We were 7. We unanimously said the election was not free and fair and should be repeated. So, possibly, Museveni would have declared.
Ferreran or?
Museveni may have declared martial law. He may have dismissed it, as they said. But you stand your ground. You are a judge, not a cadre. And the judge should not fear. So we didn't, but some of the NLM big people saw 2 of us, Karokola and Mulenga. And Katudede was our junior. David come and put me up, sitting by the can lift me backwards. I got him up.
Good day.
So you see why I want you here all the time.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
I'm okay now. Okay. So they called Mulenga and from Barara Umudasi was Karokora. And the Chief Justice. He said, if you say Museveni hasn't won, we shall dismiss all of you on this court case.
Ready?
Then we shall declare martial law. And then we call the OU to come and organize our election because we Ugandans are stupid, we can't do it ourselves. 2 of those succumbed to the fears and changed their mind and say they support the judgment that Museveni has won.
Yeah.
and is now the new president of Uganda.
Let's look at.
Now let me finish this story. Then a man called Sewanyana, I would like you to interview him. He may have dismissed it as they said, but you stand your ground. You are a judge, not a cadre. And the judge should not fear. So we didn't, but some of the NLM big people saw two of us, Karokola and Mulenga. And Akatye was our junior. David come and put me up. I was sitting by the, can you lift me backwards? I got him over. Quatum Makato.
Good day.
So you see why I want you here all the time.
Yeah. Okay, I see.
I'm okay now. Okay. So they called Mulenga and the judge from Barara Umadasi was Karokola. And the Chief Justice. He said, if you say Museveni hasn't won, we shall dismiss all of you on this court case.
Really?
Then we shall declare martial law. And then we call the OU to come and organize our election because we Ugandans are stupid, we can't do it ourselves. Two of those succumbed to the fears and changed their mind and say they support the judgment that Museveni has won.
Yeah.
And is now the new president of Uganda.
Let's look at.
Now let me finish this story. Then a man called Sewanyana, I would like you to interview him.
Sewanyana
was the executive director of Human Rights Initiative of Uganda. And they were the patron. He's the one who called me.
Yeah.
The Chiza Besigye has won, but the Electoral Commission are going to declare Museveni winner. What do we do? I said, I don't know the evidence. I am here as a cripple. Then he said, I'm sending the international observer. Observers to talk to you. Because for them, they know Chiza Besigye as one.
Yes.
David, call Betty to give me my photograph with the international observer here. So you guys don't believe in the truth. But I think you are a sensible fellow. That's why I'm showing you everything.
Yeah.
When I tell Ugandans, even the Prime Minister, nah, how could the international observer, so powerful
They
people,
think you never
come to your residence? So they have never believed me.
Yeah.
Now you are going to believe me. Then he brought them here. Sewanyana didn't come with them, they came with Museveni's escort. All of them. The judge of the African, Sophia Akufo, came earlier. And we had lunch here, you are going to see, telling me in the Commonwealth, of which, in the OU, which I represent as an observer here, our instructions that don't cause chaos, more chaos. Reconcile the parties. And we have reconciled Museveni with Chiza Besigye. They will work together to form one government. And Museveni has agreed that was more important. Then you people started shouting over the mountains, everywhere, we have one, and then we have one. Museveni has one. Museveni changed his mind. Who are those? You can show them. Those that the international observed on 2016. Here, all of them, in my residence, they are there. But you don't believe it.
So
the Kafokemo area, we are here.
Yes.
You see her there.
I've seen that.
Justice Sophia Akufo leading the OU because he's the judge of the African Court on Human and People's Rights. Obasanjo is there leading the Commonwealth team of observers. Banda is there leading the COMESA, South African equivalent of East African Community, leading that COMESA team as the former president of Malawi. Chaka Sare is there, leading the Voice of America.
As we approach to finish, Professor, what do you comment about 2021 elections?
How did I do one?
What do you comment about 21 elections? 2021.
Let me tell you. So it is a general statement. I have defeated Museveni 3 times in the court. If I was in another country, they say the man who has defeated a sitting president 7-5 is unique in the whole world. You search your internet and see whether there is any other president in Africa, America, India, China who has ever been defeated by a lawyer in the highest court of the land. There is no one. But you Ugandans, you are just like the four wise monkeys. They were advised. Say nothing evil. Speak no evil. Hear no evil. And these days of AIDS, touch no evil. That's how all Ugandans have become. I will see how this story.
Have they lost hope? Why?
I am telling every Uganda, including the young, I'm interested. Don't lose hope. Uganda will never be imprisoned forever. No money, no movement, no political party, no military can capture and keep enslaved a people. Sooner or later, I had hoped it would be in my time. I'm still hoping that it will be in my time. Uganda will be liberated immediately by the youth, the thinkers and the intellectuals and the peasants, as happened in South Africa. South Africa, nobody will, never me, would ever think successfully liberated in our lifetime, because apartheid was believed in as a religion. Religion spent a long time dying. The South African whites thought and believed they were born to rule other races, especially the blacks. It was a religion. They had a religion which worshipped and praised apartheid every night, as we praise Christian. Let me finish the point. Where is Botha and his apartheid government? Where are they? Weren't they stronger than Uganda?
They were.
Weren't they more wealthy than Uganda? They went away. So why should any Ugandan, including you, ask what will happen to Uganda? Nothing's going to happen to Uganda. It will be misgoverned, rain will beat on it, sun will beat on it, but Uganda shall rise and shine again. Through you, the youth. Don't ask that question. Simply campaign the NRM and the Museveni should retire in 2026. That's the most important phase Ugandans should have.
Briefly about the corruption. We've seen the ministers. At the start, you talked about the ministers carrying the iron sheets, seeing the iron sheets. Which type of corruption is this in the government? Ministers?
I'm finishing a book.
About them?
But why don't you always let me finish my statement? You are very impetuous. I'm finishing a book about President Museveni I have known since the 60s, the 1960s. And you'll get a copy.
Wow.
Complimentary.
Thank you, sir.
In that book, I say, President Museveni and I today are at the par. We are together. Because you don't read. You read recently that it's going to impose a total war against corruption. And that's what I've been fighting against all this time. So we are together for the first time.
Do you think he means it? Because you have said it day by day.
For you, you are a God.
I'm not God.
No, then you don't ask me that question. I have told you God, Jesus Christ, appointed Iscariot, one of his trusted disciples.
So for you,
and he betrayed him.
Yeah.
Museveni and I are humans. And he has betrayed me. But in corruption, he's come back my way.
Let's finish with abductions. What do you say about with abductions? You see the way they are abducting people every day.
The what?
Abductions and the torture that are going on in the country.
Where is part of governance of the NRM and Museveni? Many more criminal offenses and heinous crimes are being committed even as I speak. So it is a phenomenon of today's governance under President Museveni. I am not surprised because it is a typical example of the breakdown and the order and the disregard of the rule of law that has been ushered in by the NRM with or without the knowledge of my friend President Museveni. You people, you are young. Much of my time on earth is consumed. Yours is beginning. Don't be stupid to believe in lies.